Peace and blessings, salams, beloveds. I'm Rina Sassi from Sukun Holistics, and I'm here to discuss with you today blood pressure issues, chronic high or low blood pressure, and its correlation to trauma. And I'm bringing this up because I've had quite a few clients, children clients, come to me lately with low blood pressure issues and symptomology. And we know that, high blood pressure has been sort of like one of those chronic ailments that adults deal with. And low blood pressure as well. I personally had chronic low blood pressure all of my life. And I did not resolve it really until it got so bad that I passed out, and I had a sudden drop of blood pressure and I passed out and I smashed my face into concrete and I broke my front teeth. And that is when I started to look a little bit deeper into what is causing or what we can associate with this chronic blood pressure issues that can be dangerous. And so I'm going to sort of explain the correlation to you now. The adrenal glands, which are the glands that regulate our blood pressure, are also the glands that produce our stress hormones, or our hormones related to our trigger or trauma response, our flight, fight, freeze, and fawn responses. And so if you have chronic blood pressure issues, whether it's high or low, high blood pressure issues is an indication that there is suppressed anger and rage, and low blood pressure issues is an indication that there is trauma associated with suppressed fear or grief. And when if we've been sort of like trying to take care of our blood pressure issues or address it through nutrition and maybe even support our adrenal glands through adaptogens and plant medicine, but still we have issues with blood pressure, there is very likely a unresolved trauma or a shadow that's sitting on your adrenal glands, sort of like sitting there, and just triggering the adrenal glands into a constant trauma response. So it's constantly triggering the adrenal glands as if it's in trauma, as if it's stuck in trauma, and it's producing those stress hormones. And so there's a dysregulation of the blood pressure because the adrenal glands are dysfunctional, because there is unresolved trauma that just constantly triggers in the adrenal glands into being in a flight, fight, freeze, or fawn response. And so, when I had smashed my face into the concrete, I realized then that I needed a way to sort of look into my body and see what was going on with all the different glands and organs and systems. And that's how I came across hair tissue mineral analysis, and I studied it. I trained on how to analyze results of minerals from hair tissue and how to then address the needs based on the analysis of those results through nutrition and through supplementation and through plant medicine and herbs and so on and so forth. And so if you have any kind of chronic blood pressure issues, my recommendation would be to do a hair tissue mineral analysis so that we can take a look at what's happening with your adrenal glands. What kind of response are they stuck in? Are they stuck in flight or fight? Are they stuck in freeze or fawn? What minerals are either deficient or in excess? What minerals are sort of also dysregulated for in the adrenal glands, because it's really the adrenal glands that will regulate the production of the stress hormones and regulate blood pressure and the heart and the nervous system and the immune system. So the adrenal glands is like kind of like the root of what's going on with many other systems in the body. And so if the adrenal glands are in this constant trigger mode, then it's likely that there's other systems that are dysregulated as well. And so if we can take a look and find out what exactly is happening with your adrenal glands through the minerals in your hair, we can then address those issues through nutrition and through plant medicine and supplementation, but also then we can learn how to move forward with shadow work in particular and resolving and healing those traumas. And so just sort of as a recap, blood pressure dysregulation is often a chronic blood pressure dysregulation is often a result of unhealed traumas and shadows that are sort of in constant trigger for the adrenal glands, so that the adrenal glands are overproducing stress hormones or underproducing stress hormones, and then dysregulating the nervous system and our blood pressure, and so on and so forth. And so if you have any questions about any of what I've discussed or about blood pressure in general, like what are the symptoms of low and high blood pressure, or how do I know this is an issue? Because a lot of people probably do have issues but are not aware of it. Oftentimes, the medical establishment puts a lot of urgency around high blood pressure, which is totally valid. I understand that, but can be quite dismissive of low blood pressure because it could be a sort of a non-urgent ailment, right? But when it's chronic, it can cause a lot of problems. So if you have questions or you'd like more information from me, or you'd just like to discuss what's going on with you, please reach out to me by DM. I'd be happy to support you and to look a little bit deeper into what's going on with your body and see how we can support you and take best care of ourselves. Thanks so much for listening. Take care. Peace and love. Blessings.